Hello Begbrook, it's Mr. Willcox here and it's time for Willcox's Wacky Experiments. All the experiments we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks you can use with things that are around your house. But remember, ask your parents first. Right guys, these videos are going to include 2 experiments. One mini experiment that doesn't need a lot of resources and one main experiment that might need a little bit more, but it's going to be really exciting. But first, we need to talk about the boring but crucial safety points for doing experiments at home. Make sure, number 1, you ask for permission from an adult to make sure you can do these experiments. Number 2, make sure you've got lots of space to do these experiments and everything is nice and tidy. And number 3, make sure you follow the instructions for these experiments step by step. Okay, our first mini experiment is called Petrified Pepper. Huh? Pepper thinks it's tough? Not scared of anything, right? Well, let's just wait and see. Okay, for this experiment you're going to need a bowl half filled with water. You're going to need some ground black pepper. You're going to need some washing up liquid. And you're going to need a toothpick. Or you could use a straw or even just your finger. Okay, step number 1 is to get your ground black pepper and sprinkle it all the way over the water until there is a nice layer of pepper. Okay, right then. Step number 2 is to get our toothpick and dip. Oh, I'm joined by my lab assistant here. This is Athena. Okay, with our toothpick and our washing up liquid, need to be very careful with the washing up liquid. It's not to go in your mouth, it's just to go on the very end of the toothpick. Okay, get a nice layer of washing up liquid on the end of the toothpick, or it could be a straw or your finger. And then what you're going to do is you're going to dip the toothpick in the middle of the water and watch very carefully. This petrified pepper is going to run away. Are we ready? In we go. So what is the science? The science is water molecules are very strongly attracted to each other, and this creates something called surface tension. Adding a drop of dishwashing liquid breaks that surface tension, but the water molecules keep being attracted to each other. Since they can't complete with the dishwashing liquid, they pull away from it and towards each other, taking the specks of pepper with them. Okay, now we have had fun with our mini experiment and the petrified pepper. We are now going to have some exciting fun with the main experiment. We're going to be experimenting with air pressure. And the things you're going to need for this experiment are scissors, pom-poms, or if you don't have pom-poms, you can screw up little bits of paper, plastic bag, a water bottle, a cup or a dish, and some sellotape. Okay, step number 1 is you're going to need your water bottle. First thing you're going to need to do is take the lid off and just place it to the side. So you've now got an empty bottle that you can squeeze, and what we will need to do is cut off the end, not the end with the hole, but the other end. So we're making a bigger hole. So you're going to need your scissors. Make sure you're being very safe with your scissors. Obviously mine are adult ones. You might want to ask an adult to do this part. So you need to squeeze the bottle until it's flat and then cut your way through the bottle using those big strong muscles. There we go. Okay, step number 2, you're going to need your plastic bag and a lot of sticky tape. So with your plastic bag, you're going to need to try and attach the open end to the rim of the hole that we've just made in our water bottle. And we need to really make sure it is airtight. We cannot have any little gaps at all. So that is why we need a lot of sticky tape. So I would recommend that you put the bottle in the middle of the bag, like this. And then start by attaching tape airtight around the middle of the bag. and then afterwards start concertinaing the bag until it gets to the bottle, so that you've still got this nice big bag of air here, okay? And boom, here is what I made earlier. Just have a little quick look here. I have put lots of sticky tape around the bag to make sure that it is airtight. We don't want any little bits of air getting out the sides. So it's really important you use lots and lots of tape. Okay, now you have made your air cannon, it's now time to blow the bag up. So you've got to blow it up until the bag is really inflated. Okay, when it's really inflated, just make sure you put your hand over the end so that you keep that air pressure inside of the bag. What you will now need to do is put the bag part underneath your arm, let go of the end, and then just squeeze the bag as hard as you can, like this. Okay, so now it's time to test that air pressure and see it happening for real. But first, we need to remember our boring, crucial safety rule, that we must make sure we have lots of space. And for this experiment, I'm actually going to go outside to test my experiment. Okay, so now I'm outside. I'm going to test my air cannon by filling up the bag with air, again, ready for that air pressure to be exerted out of the neck of the bottle. And to definitely show that this air pressure is working, I'm going to use my pom-pom, or you could use your screwed up bit of paper, and we're going to place that pom-pom inside the neck of the bottle. So first of all, let's blow it up. Put our hand over the end so that we don't let any of that air pressure out. We're going to put the pom-pom in the neck of the bottle, as we can see right here, and then we need to do exactly the same. Put the bag underneath our arm, and then we let our hand go, and then that air pressure should push the pom-pom and exert it out of the neck of the bottle, like this. Wow, did you see that? How strong that air pressure was. Okay, so now you've had a play around with your air cannon, it's challenge time. What I would like you to do is line up a row of cups and practice aiming with your air cannon to see if you can knock those cups over. So what is the science? So the sciencey bit is that the air filling your bag and bottle is released when you squeeze with your arm, pushing air out in front of you and towards the cup or your target. If you are in line with the cup, this air pressure will push it over. If you plug the end of your bottle with a pom-pom, the air pressure builds up behind it until eventually the pom-pom pushes it out of the way and shoots it forward. And that's all, folks. Thank you for joining me with Willcox's Wacky Experiments. Tune in next time for your mini and your main experiments.